To help us understand what it was like to be confronted by Ford and the threat of death, Derek said he'd try to show what the interrogation was like.
All right, Derek, let's start again. What happened that night?
I was at home and a friend called me and told me to watch television and...
No. Quit. Right there. You're lying, Derek.
No.
No, you were there. You'd committed this crime, Derek. What you did was sickening. I've lived this case since its beginning. It's been my life.
No.
I know there was a party at Dan's house, and you went. Nicole got a headache, and she went to bed. Y'all started talking about girls, decided to go over to Michelle's apartment. Somebody knocked on the door. Somebody covered the peephole with their thumb. Y'all went in and you raped and killed this girl. I know you did it.
I'm telling you the truth.
No, you're not telling me the truth, Derek. You're just a liar, and you're gonna die. You deserve to die. I'm sorry. That's it. I can't. I can't do anymore. I'm sorry. I hope that was enough. I can't.
It's a very difficult thing to explain to someone who hasn't been there. I felt caged, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to do.
8.5 hours he was like that. Just never coming down, never.
He physically, emotionally wore me down to the point where I just couldn't go anymore. And I just told him what he wanted to hear.
My fear was not of what would happen next. It was of Ford. He does not appear that imposing. But in the interrogation room, it's different. It's just different. They told me what they wanted to hear, and I repeated it back to them. Everything I said was scripted by Ford. All the details I gave about the apartment were because of photos he showed me of the crime scene. I was so mentally, emotionally drained by them that I didn't care what the truth was. I was willing to tell them whatever they wanted to hear just to make them stop.
The confession, Derek said, was carefully crafted.
It was an hour and a half to 2 hours of rehearsal of going over this statement over and over and over again, adding a piece here, adding a piece there, until it was a big enough story that Ford liked, and he was like, okay. Then once we got that, we had to go back over it 3 more times just to make sure that I had all the parts and pieces together. And then he goes, okay, now we're going to record it. When the rest of us got inside, we disrobed her, held her down. I had one leg, Eric had the other leg. It was just so not me. It was a robot. Dan was the first to have intercourse with her. I was the second. Eric was third. What I said, I didn't know until I got a copy of it and read it. I couldn't remember what I had said. Dan started to strangle her to keep her from talking, and also made the statement that just get a knife and stab her. Then Dan stabbed her, I stabbed her, then Eric stabbed her, Joe stabbed her.
There was no record of what led to the confession.
The police didn't turn the tape on until they were ready to have the full confession. In other words, we were not provided with, because there was no evidence of, no record of, what had occurred for the 10, 12, 15 hours, I can't remember exactly how much now, but the numerous hours that occurred prior to that time, in terms of the confessions where he denied, where he said, I wasn't involved, I wasn't there. How'd they get him from point A to point Z? We don't know because it wasn't taped.